Hi everyone, welcome to your reading pleasure time. We are on to the last chapter of the You Are Awesome book. We are on to chapter 8, Don't Stop Me Now. So, as Kid Awesome, I spent a lot of time in the garage. I was getting pretty good. One of the best in Europe at table tennis, but I needed to stretch myself, make the practice harder. Mr. Charters arranged for a top coach in Bergen, Norway, to spend some time with me. My mum booked a ticket. She went round to the local travel agent, there was no internet back then, and no mobiles, and paid for a 20-hour coach trip. I did the block, 2 minutes 49, since you ask. Then I packed my bat, some thermals, it was going to be really cold, and some Norwegian Corona. I got on the bus, kicked back, listened to Michael Jackson on loop. It was the 80s, okay. Read a bit of the Lord of the Rings trilogy and made friends with a few of the German kids in the rows in front. It didn't occur to me until much later that there were an awful lot of Germans going to Norway, and no Norwegians. After about 18 hours, we were on the German Autobahn. I had a passing thought that Germany wasn't really on the way to Norway, but I didn't think too much about it. I was too busy showing Klaus and Jürgen how to do a forehand smash against the bus window. And then the bus began to slow down. Klaus and Jürgen started picking up their bags, high-fiving each other that their journey was over. What on earth? And all of a sudden, we're in a lay-by in Bergen, Germany, and it dawns on me, my mum's bought a ticket to the wrong Bergen. How many Bergens are there? As it turns out, there are 2. I was 15. There were no smartphones with sat-nav or the ability to call parents, no internet, and I didn't have a credit card. The sensible thing might have been to see if the bus driver was going back to Reading anytime soon. But I didn't do that. Instead, I decided to hitchhike to Norway. Never do this. It's dangerous and not fun at all. Now, on one level, it's a tale about a silly mix-up with tickets and not paying enough attention. But as it happened to me, I like to think it's really a story of grit, determination and refusal to give up, even when the odds of success were slim. The point of telling you this story? Well, sometimes life throws you a curveball. There can be some real what on earth am I going to do now kind of moments. They'll happen to you. They happen to everyone. Probably not in Bergen, Germany, and probably not with Klaus and Jürgen, but they'll happen. So be ready. Be set to face anything difficult and face it with a growth mindset, and ideally a fresh pair of pants. I made it to Norway, 4 days late, with Interpol looking for me after Peter, the Norwegian table tennis coach, called my mum to let her know that he'd lost me. I made it via a train station in Denmark, where I fell asleep on a bench and someone stole everything I owned. I had no passport, the Norwegian Corona were long gone, as were the thermal vests. And although it was damn cold when I got there in the end. And the training was amazing. Whatever journey you pick, it doesn't matter how you get there. Just make a start. Grit your teeth if things go wrong, and you'll get there in the end. But it'll be hard, but worth it. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new, says Albert Einstein, mistake maker and awesome scientist. I was an ordinary kid from a suburban town. I started out with little in the talent department, but I practiced hard and in the right way and worked for everything with a drive and focus that I am proud of. I really wanted to be a great table tennis player. In the end, I won't go down in history, but I got pretty damn good and I really enjoyed it. I travelled the world and met some amazing people along the way. The same is true of my writing. I was pretty clunky when I started. My editor would say very clunky. But I really wanted to be great at it. I worked really hard on it, even now, even after 20 years. Every article, every book, I want to make it my best yet. I never give up too easily, and I'm never happy unless I have given it my all. It doesn't matter if you miss out on being an Olympic champion or a Nobel Prize winner or Prime Minister. It doesn't matter if you get to Norway 4 days late. It doesn't matter if other people are better than you. What matters is that you get out there, take a risk, dare to fail, and give it your all. Just aim to be the very best that you can be at all times. And I know you'll get there because you are awesome. That brings us to the end of this fantastic book, which has been really enjoyable to read to you. As I said, it's a book we've already looked at this year, but it's still a book that I always love to read and pick up and help me think about how I can be better. We talk about being the best that we can be, and how brilliant is it that through these really difficult times, you're sat there listening to me read, you're working hard on your maths and in your English and lots of other subjects, and you're making the best of a really difficult situation. You are awesome. Just for sitting and listening, just for working hard, just for doing the best that you can do. You are showing the Southdale Sparkle in so many different ways, even if you don't even realise it. Tomorrow, we're going to do a little bit more reading for pleasure. We're going to have a look at the book that we talked about before we started this one, which is My Awesome Guide to Getting Good at Stuff, by the same person, Matthew Syed. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to take our reading from this book, a little bit shorter, a bit of a thinner book, but we're going to read this guide. So if we're not already inspired to be awesome, this will definitely give us a practical guide to help us do the best that we can do. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. See you then.